Welcome to Fatman Beyond. I'm Kevin Smith.
I am Marc Bernardi.
Hey!
Hey!
Holy fuck. Happy
Hot
post
damn.
Comic-Con, everybody. It was a packed weekend, I think, for everybody, all concerned. How many people, let's do it this way, who didn't go to Comic-Con? Put your hands together. Holy fuck. What did you cry all weekend and shit? How many people did go? Put your hands together. All right, so we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the events of Comic-Con. Before we go back into the past, let's take care of the present, man. We are here at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard. Put your hands together so the folks at home know you are real. It was a packed few days, man.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. Everyone keeps asking, are you tired? And I'm like, oh no, man, like that. I love that kind of shit because I'm a challenge stoner. Like, I like to, get fucking too baked to work and then somehow work through it. Like, that's the fun of it for me. So doing that, spinning as many plates as we did this year at Comic-Con was just like, honestly, at a certain point, it's like the train is fucking moving. Don't even think about it. Like, I was on the IMDBoat interviewing people, and you're meeting casts and talking about TV shows that are yet to come and movies that haven't happened yet. And, I like to be able to, like, personally interact with everybody, but it's like some cats I just don't fucking know. So I would get, like, all sorts of, like, oh, my God, I don't know enough about these cats. And then I would just be like, fuck it, wing it. And so it just kind of worked out and stuff, but it was real packed. This is the busiest I've been at a Comic-Con since, like, the one year we did Geekin' Out. I was doing the IMDBoat and Geekin' Out and stuff like that. So this was mostly IMDBoat stuff. I had a Hall H panel on Saturday night. I did right on. You guys went, thank you. Or you heard of it, thank you. Then I had a con panel on Sunday, which was really fun. A panel where I was on the panel. Like, for my Hall H panel, I brought out Jason, I brought out Harley, and I brought out Melissa Benoist. And, I was like, hey, there's these fucking people. Let's do Q&A. And we sat down, and nobody asked them shit. So they just dutifully sat there for an hour and a half. They're so sweet. Thank God, Melissa Benoist, just like the light of the world and shit. She was like, I'm just happy to be here. And I would have been like, I'm fucking bored to be here, man. Like, all they want to do is talk about you. So I got to be on a panel where I was not the focus of the panel. It was a look back at Comic-Con and stuff and a look forward with a bunch of Comic-Con like legends, like Billy Tucci was on the panel. Like, people going back to like the 90s, Meyer. People who were like famous at Comic-Con long before I ever entered the business. So it was kind of cool. Kurt Busiek was the guy moderating the panel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fucking
Deep.
cool. So I did that, and then I did a signing with Pernille. I always point there as if she's here, but Pernille, who, did the art on my Hit Girl run, and she did the DC Superhero Girls. So we did a signing at the booth. The weirdest, wonderful things were I put my hands in cement. Legion M got the folks the TCL Chinese theater folks. They got a theater down in San Diego called the Theater Box. And so they did a ceremony, man, where me and Jay put our hands in cement and wrote it and shit like that. And I love that kind of shit. Like, honestly, like, I've never tried to perfect my craft to the point of like, let's try to win an award or something like that. That kind of shit don't do it for me. But if somebody's like, you could fucking write in shit, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a writer, so I love that. Me and Jay did it, and it was really cool. And the notion that, like, that theater sticks around, like our handprints will stick around long before us until fucking people are walking by one day going, who are these people? I'm sure people are gonna walk by today going, who are these people and shit. But still, it was really fucking cool. But the biggest thing that I did at Comic-Con this year was we released the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Yes. It was, we were supposed to do it in Hall H, but I knew for Hall H I had the trailer and we showed a couple scenes from the movie as well. So just kind of get ahead of the clutter of what was coming for Comic-Con. We were all ready, so I was like, let's pull the trigger on Thursday night. Fuck it, let's throw it up. And we did, and I, my asshole clenched so fucking tight right before we released it, because this has been like my best friend for the last like 2.5 years. Like, whenever I was bored, lonely, high, which is like all the fucking time. Whenever I just wanted to go someplace else, whenever I wanted to make pretend and shit like that, I had Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. You know, I've been working on, like I had 12 drafts of the script at the end of the day and stuff. So I would just always go back in and tinker. It was my safe place. And then one day we got to make the movie, and then I got to see what it looked like and put the movie together. So since we wrapped, once again, it's been my place to go. Every morning I had a reason to get up to be like, oh, I'm gonna go edit the flick. And oh my God, here come the sound cues, the score cues from Jim Venable. And so that's being built. And here come the CG effects from Armin and the folks at Encore. So like you're starting to see everything. But with every step forward, that means it's a step toward completion. And there goes the thing that I go to. Like I'm about to lose my hobby and my safe place, the place that I go to where I'm like, well, if nothing else, I'm gonna work on this and I'll take care of this and improve this. We've locked picture and we've locked sound. Like we're literally done. There's nothing left to do with Jay and Silent Bob Reboot except sell it, market it, shit like that. But in terms of making it, we're fucking done. So it was really kind of weird to put the trailer out there because that's where it officially ends, where it stops being mine and starts being other people's, and they can have an opinion on it. And up until this point, I've loved this thing like a fucking child, man. Like, this is my favorite thing I've ever done. It really encapsulates who the fuck I am. But at the same time, I know me. I'm the type of person that's like, you see this thing right here? This represents everything that I am. I put my all into it. My heart and soul breathes in this fucking thing. Without it, I'm nothing. What do you think? And people are like, we think it's a piece of shit. And I'm like, you're right, let's kill this fucking thing right now. I'd sell out on shit so fucking quickly. So before the fucking trailer came out, I was real sad because I'm like, fuck, if the whole world hates it, then I gotta start holding it at arm's length and making fun of it like I did with Jersey Girl and fucking Mallrats and Yoga Hosers and shit like that. Just gotta start beating it up before other people do. And that's heartbreaking because I love this. And like, you know, I was at this point with the movie where I'm like, who couldn't love this movie? Oh my God, like I love it so much. And that's how I felt about fucking Yoga Hosers as well. And I met a lot of people who didn't like that fucking movie right to my face. So right before we released the trailer, my asshole was super clenched because I'm like, fuck, man. This could be the moment everybody fucking turns on the movie and then I gotta turn on the fucking movie. But it was received really well, like, and I was so fucking relieved because now I still get to like it unencumbered without having to make excuses for it or some such shit or play some sort of goofy role about it. So that was the best part of Con for me. Then when we had the panel, we played the trailer anyway, even though it was out there. And hearing it play in a room was magnificent, hearing the reaction to it, because we've never screened the movie publicly. We haven't had like, you know, test screenings or anything like that. So there's shit that I think is funny, but I'm like, I've never heard it beyond like, you know, a room of like 20 people or something like that. Never heard it in the real world. So putting the trailer in front of Hall H, which like we didn't have 6,500 that Marvel had, but we had 5,000, which is not fucking bad, man. When hearing 5,000 fucking people react and laugh at something that like 2.5 years ago, you're like, fuck, I hope they think this is funny, is insanely gratifying. And a moment I'll take with me to my grave is me and the kid were laying on the stage in Hall H, like, you know, we started running the clips. And I think Jason kind of went backstage to get Melissa because we were bringing her out next. And so me and Harley just kind of laid on the stage and watched the trailer. And there, you know, we had the tables behind us and shit, so we couldn't see anybody, but you could hear the fucking crowd. And every time like a roar of laughter came over the tables, the kid looked at me like, oh my God, like you did it and shit like that. I was like, I did it with no help. Like, it's like, we did it, fucking we did it. It was really fucking gratifying and stuff. And I think she's a little gun shy too because like she got a lot of heat for Yoga Hosers, but she's wonderful in the movie and it seems to play in the trailer and stuff like that. So it was all around a good weekend. And I said that on the IMDBoat on like Friday morning. I was like, I'm just so thankful that I get to like go to work and interview people in a good mood because like we didn't think about in releasing the trailer on Thursday. What if the whole world had been like, fuck your trailer and shit? Then I'd have to interview people for 3 days on the IMDBoat going like, why try? Everyone hates everything anyway. Anyway, how's Supergirl? You know. So it was a relief to be able to go to work every day with a little spring in the step and shit. Interviewed the Russo brothers who, you know, I'm always blowing them up and whatnot. And they turned the tables on me because they were like, we saw the fucking trailer and it's amazing. I'm like, fuck you, you make amazing, I make adequate, you know, shit like that. So it was really cool. It was a cool weekend all around. We didn't get to announce the thing that we've been talking about, that we've been working on for some time now. But from what I understand, that announcement is coming soon.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I can. It's coming. It's in August, I believe. You know what? I believe. I fucking know for a fact they're gonna tell the world in August.
There's a bakery convention in Anaheim.
And that's where we're revealing it. Yeah, man. It's but we didn't make any big announcements. I mean, well, my big announcement was, here's my movie. Here's what it might look like and shit. What did you do at the con?
I did have a big announcement at the con. 8 years ago, I started writing a graphic novel. I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but it was inspired by my daughter. It was inspired by, like, when she was 3.5, 4 years old. She kind of wasn't doing shit the way other kids were supposed to be doing. She wasn't like, she was shitting fine. But no, like, she wasn't playing with other kids the way we were supposed to. Her language wasn't where it was supposed to be. So we had her evaluated, we had her tested, and she came back autistic on the spectrum. She's about midway through. She's not completely nonverbal, but she is in no way ever going to go to, like, college. It's not in the scheme of things for her. But the thing that I can never get from her is she'll say, I want chicken nuggets, or I want apple juice, or I want to watch Nemo. I don't ever get I'm happy, or I'm sad, or I'm afraid, or any of that stuff. She doesn't have access to her emotions that way. So for the entirety of her life, I've been wondering what's been going on in her head. And so I decided to write a graphic novel about that, about the sort of fantasy world that an autistic kid builds inside her own head, and the journey that she takes to go out of it, to travel through it. And because I'm a fucking nerd, it's a quest, story. It's got, like, underwater pirates and dragons and lava monsters and all of that shit, and a bunch of knights, and we're on a quest and we're doing things. But it is about answering the unknowable question for me. And so I've been just sitting on this book for a long time. Like, I pitched it to a couple people and they didn't like it, or they liked it but they wanted to change it. Said, fuck it, for this one, no. This needs to be what it is. And then I pitched it to Comixology about 1.5 years ago, because they were starting up their Comixology Originals program, and I said, yeah, we'll do it. Do you want to change it? No, exactly as it is. Like, you tell us what you want to do, and we'll do it. And so we announced it at the show. Like, they hung a big fucking banner from the rafters of the convention center, Adora and the Distance, it's called, and we had a preview that went up on EW.com, my old alma mater, like 5 pages of the book, and we gave away fucking pins. We had lines around the booth every time we sat down to sign it. So to be able to, like, talk about this thing that's been so close to my heart for so long and just share with people, it's been awesome.
And when did you start? How long ago?
First draft I wrote 8 years ago.
Fuck, man. What a fucking long journey. So to finally be able to be like, here!
Yeah. And so I brought, for a Q&A, I brought some pins. The pins that we were giving away at the booth that I stole because it's my fucking book. I dare you to try and stop me. These are mine.
That's tremendous, man. Fucking A.
Yeah, and then I was also there for Carnival Row, which had its big fucking coming out party at Comic-Con this
Carnival
year.
Row, for those unfamiliar with the show, you'll get familiar with it. It's the fairy fucking show. The show where the fairies actually fuck.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of fucking.
Yeah, and they fuck, and when a fairy fucks a human, they lift off the ground and shit like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's how they pitched it to me. I'm like, I'm in. Here's my money. Fuck you. I don't care how high off the ground. Now you had me at fairy fucking. But that show did blow up. It's got Orlando Bloom, Cara Delevingne.
Yeah.
And that's the show that you've been working on. You're working on season 2.
I'm working on season 2. Season 1 premieres on Labor Day. So they fucking took over a city block. Like, Amazon just built this whole fucking, like, experience. And
the activation.
And the stars were there, and they did the rounds, and they went on the boat.
They did. They came on the IMDBoat. I interviewed them all.
I heard the loveliest story, because Travis Beacham is the creator of the show. And Travis Beacham...
Don't, man. You're going to ruin my fucking reputation as a hard guy.
I know. Clearly, your well-earned reputation as a hard ass who cries all the fucking time. But so Travis Beacham wrote this feature screenplay in college. this long. It was on the very first Blacklist, which is the annual list of the greatest unproduced screenplays in Hollywood. It was on the very first one of those. It's now like 18 years old. And he's been living with this story in his brain since college. And like Guillermo del Toro was going to make a movie out of it and decided not to. Then he and Travis made Pacific Rim, and then it made its way to television, but it took forever, and they started production like 4 years ago, and now it's finally coming out. And so he's been carrying this load with him for this long. And so they and of course they're doing the fucking like PR rounds, and there's shiny, pretty actors, and Cara Delevingne and Orlando Bloom and Tamsin Merchant and David Jesse, and they're all gorgeous. And so of course they go to do press for stuff, and the 4 actors are always put in the stools because that's what you do. And I ran into Travis after they all went into the boat. He's like, listen, man, I know you do this podcast with Kevin, but he did the awesomest thing for me. He's like, I kind of like went up with the cast, and then the PR people were like, what do you? No, we just want the actors. And so he's standing kind of disheveled and dejected off to the side, and Kev goes, hey man, what do you do? I created the show. And you're like, get this man a fucking stool. Like, get him a mic, get him a stool. Like, I want to talk to the guy who made this shit up and's been living with it forever. And he was so touched. Like, literally, he was like, I just, like everywhere else, they just want to talk to the actors. But Kev sat me down. He's like, I want to talk to you too. And he was like visibly moved at just being able to tell his story and tell his story about his story.
It was sweet. He gave us great content, man. Like at the end of the day, like the cast is wonderful, and of course they're very easy to look at and stuff. But like, we're gonna engage with the material. We're gonna care about these pretty people because of the things they say and the things that they're going through. It begins with the written word, and at Comic-Con, like, you know, on a late night talk show, fine, you put up the actor, the actress, but like, we're at Comic-Con. This is like fucking our culture where, you know, we celebrate where it comes from. Authors are fucking rock stars and stuff. So I saw them getting kind of like shunt off, not in a hardcore like way, but it was just like, they were like, no, just cast. And so once I saw that, I was like, he must like, who are you? And he was just like, oh, I created it. Get the fuck up here, man. We need you. And he told us a great story about, I wrote this thing, was it 18 years ago or 16 years ago, whatever it was. And it's like, it was the spark plug behind his career. Like, it got everything going. He's got a career. Like, you know, with Pacific
Rim. He wrote the Clash of the Titans movie. He's one of like 20 dudes who wrote on the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie that never got made. Like, he's just been a working screenwriter for a decade and a half.
But this thing was always kind of what he felt the sacrificial lamb. Like, I had to write this, and that kicked off the career, but it was never to be made. So to fucking have it come to fruition that many years later, he walked through the activation more so than anyone else. Like, the cast went through, and they were like, oh, it looks like our set. This fucking guy walked through, and he was like, this was my dream. This was the thing that got me to where I was going in life, and I thought that was enough. I thought this was the fuel. Turns out it's still the fucking vehicle. We just had to build the car. It's a fucking astounding story. So I was so glad to pull him up there, man. I did that with somebody else, too. They shunted off another creator, and I was like, get up here, man. Like, it's tough to ask the cast to like, hey, where'd this come from? Like, I don't know, my agent, you know. But you'll get the truth from like the writer and stuff. You get some real meaty shit. And if I'm watching a bunch of videos about interviews and shit, like, yeah, I like, you know, fucking the actors and actresses, but like what's probably gonna get me more interested is like, where'd this come from? And his backstory was compelling.
Yeah, and so to like ride shotgun with him as he gets to walk through the activation, which, I mean, the show's kind of about this kind of Victorian London that also has like fairies and pucks and centaurs and mythological creatures who are the immigrant class. And so they built like a street of this section of London. Yeah. And they had like dudes in makeup and the fucking horns and like everything. And to watch him walk through corners of his own mind, like with his fucking camera phone out, like a little tear streaming down his face. It's like, oh, Travis, I just want to hug him every time I saw him.
That was awesome.
It was, I mean, just to watch a guy's dream come true it's like you can turn around every corner of Comic-Con and see that. Right. Like, you know, kids who, you know, come from all over the fucking country, sometimes all over the world.
This was a corner of Comic-Con where we saw it as well, man.
It was.
Dora, come true for you. How fucking dope.
It was. But to see that, like, writ so large, it is why we go. Is because there's things that you love and things that you find and people who love those things too. And there's a corner of that convention center just for you. You just have to find it.
Agreed. Did you go to any parties?
I went to a handful. I am very murtaugh about this, where I'm getting too old for this shit. But like every time I go to Comic-Con, my brain thinks it is exactly as old as I was the first time I went. My brain is like, bitch, you're 27 years old. You can go all night. And then like 2 days in, my knees are like, motherfucker, you are 47. Sit your ass down. Like, but I want to dance. Like, I can't feel my feet, Kaiser.
I powered through, I'll be honest with you, on, I got some sleep, some decent sleep each night, like 6-7 hours or something like that. But there's this weed that I smoke, Caviar Gold. And the guy that created it, man, this guy Mike, he created a strain, 3 different strains for me. One was a sativa. What he does is he takes, a plant and he sucks out all the THC and CBDs and all that stuff and re-injects it into the plant at the level he wants it, so he can dictate how much the THC content of the fucking plant, THC content of every joint and stuff, so that whether you make it here, whether you make it there, it's always the same. In nature, plants do what they want. It's like, having babies. You're like, I want 5 girls. You're going to get whatever the fuck comes out, man. And so even if you want 5 fucking plants that put out 20%, that may not fucking happen. His process, which he made up, invented because he said, I couldn't get high off weed in a dispensary anymore. I had to fucking find something. And so he made this super weed and shit. Which is
science.
Science! So he made me some strains, because in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, there are 3 strains that are at the center of the movie, 3 strains of weed. And so he came up with them in real life. So there's a sativa, and there's a hybrid, and there's an indica. And the sativa joint he brought over to my house, he's going, you gotta smoke this, because he's like, what do you want it to taste like? He's like, because I can make it taste like anything. And I said, well, I'm just used to smoking weed tastes like dirt and shit. So I was like, it'd be great if it tasted like breakfast. And he was like, I'll see what I can do. He goes, I'll see what I can do. And he went fucking back and he came up with this, I don't know how else to describe it, but it tastes like maple syrup, maple oatmeal. Like instant oatmeal, like it tastes like fucking breakfast. Honestly, it tastes Canadian. It's fucking maple as hell. So anyway, that's its like flavor profile. But it's, he came over, he goes, you ready for this? And I was like, yeah, totally. He's like, this joint has never existed in nature before. And I was like, what is it? And he goes, it's 25% THC, which, is high, but not as high as fucking, Caviar Gold goes way fucking deep. But he goes, it's 30% CBD. I said, how's that possible? He goes, because I can do that. So he pumped this fucking sativa joint, which is the joint that you smoke to like, hey, I'm gonna go work. Indica is the one that's like, let's watch South Park. But sativa is the one where you're like, hey man, I got some shit to do and shit. So he took that and put in like fucking a bunch more CBD. So not only you fucking like have a crisp high and shit, you're beyond ready to fucking work. So I was interviewing the fuck out of people, man. Holy shit. Right before I sat down with the Snowpiercer shit, people cast, I was just like, took a big smoke out in the tent and shit, and then I went up to interview people. And at one point, we're talking, Jennifer Connelly's on that show and stuff, and she's sitting right to my left or right or wherever the fuck I was on here, to my right. And she's talking about, I asked her a question, she's talking about the show, and I'm listening to her, and finally I just kind of get lost in what she's saying, and when she finishes, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help but think you're the fucking little girl from Labyrinth, man. Like,
yes, and I've got an Oscar, Kevin.
I know she's done some shit, but like, fucking, I told her, I was like, I just watched that movie with my kid. I was about 15 years too late. She kind of liked it, but like, I love that fucking movie and stuff. After the interview, I think I blew her mind because she was like, nice meeting you. I said, some girls, that's my fucking jam. And she was like, nobody has ever said that. I said, I bought it on VHS from Choice Video, and I was a kid. I fucking love that movie. I'm a big fan of Canada. You were great in it. She was like, thanks. I wonder if she thinks, like, I made that movie like fucking 30 years ago. Can't you pick something more recent, motherfucker? But I did like it quite a bit. I could have said The Rocketeer and shit like that. Anyway, that was That was I was on fire for the interviews and shit because I was just like, all right, let's talk to people whose shows I have no idea what they're about. I started putting it right on Front Street with them, being like, well, you know, have you guys even started making this show? And they're like, no, not yet. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we supposed to talk about, man? Like, and we just went in different directions. So
better
it
than
was
them
good.
saying, yeah, 4 seasons deep, motherfucker.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Does that joint come with like an audio sound that comes with it? Like, boom.
No, it's the sound of satisfaction and serenity, which is like this.
Because I watched and we'll get into it a little bit later, but the Top Gun Maverick trailer.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like, it dropped at Comic-Con, and that trailer is nothing but nostalgia, and it begins with that fucking sound of the like, boom, and then it's fucking jet screaming, and then the fucking little Vangelis score kicks in.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you're just doing that. Like, you don't even have to have a movie here. You could just do the shit. He's got the motorcycle. Remember the motorcycle? And he's putting the jacket on, and maybe there's gonna be volleyball. Is there a movie? I don't know if there's a movie. He's just doing shit he did in the first movie, but older. I'm fine with that.
It was almost like, you know, we put out our trailer and we're like, we're fucking chock-a-block full of 90s nostalgia. And Top Gun 2 was like, hold my joint. And fucking... They went to the 80s, man.
Yes.
They beat us. They went back to the fucking 80s for their nostalgia and shit. It was kind of funny, though. I'm watching the trailer, and then they get to him at the end. Or not at the end, but when they finally cut to him. As if you're like, you know, what are they going to cut to? Roger Rabbit? Of course they're going to fucking... Well, they keep talking about him and shit. You're this, you're that, you're that, you're a fucking Maverick or whatever. And they cut to him. He looks fucking good. He honestly doesn't look like he's aged much from that first movie. Like,
His teeth are better, but that's about it.
yeah. Like thicker, not thicker like he's chunkier, but like more muscular probably in his older age, I'd imagine. But I gotta tell you, man, like I fucking fear for this kid's life. Like, he's a great actor, man. Like, fuck anybody that's like, no, he ain't. I love Tom Cruise as an actor. Tom Cruise, somebody fucking convinced Tom Cruise somewhere along the way that unless he is risking his life, people aren't gonna go see the movies anymore and shit. Because this fucking Top Gun trailer, they literally put a GoPro on a fucking jet, and it takes off, and you're like, wait, is that the sell of the movie? Is the like, look, we let him fucking fly. Isn't that fucked up? For real, he's flying for real. He ain't even Maverick anymore. He's fucking Tom Cruise and shit like that. This guy's gonna fucking hurt himself. I saw that fucking video of him busting his ankle on the last fucking stunt he did and shit like that. It's crazy, man.
I want to be the white Jackie
act.
Chan.
Yeah, it's kind of what he's doing, man. He's just throwing himself in danger left and right. Fucking Duke Kaboom. All right, so we got a bunch to talk about.
We got some
shall we?
shit that happened.
All right, man. So Marc's got news to go through, man. Marc used to work in the news, and then he aggregated news for you tonight. So we're going to talk about the news, and I bet you it's all news that came out of Comic-Con. Give it up for Marc. He's got the news.
I bring you the finest copy pasting in all the land. Marvel went to Comic-Con.
Whoa, hold on. Don't fucking, like, kiss me, work my nipples. Don't go right for my fucking clit, man. Like, fucking, once we get to Marvel, it's going to be all night long. So, there must have been other news at Comic-Con before Hall H happened with Marvel.
I mean, yeah, but...
We know that, you know, Warner Brothers didn't bring any fucking DC things or anything like that, but we do know that DC was well represented by the CW shows, and they did give us some cool
They
fucking
gave some
info.
shit about Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is their big crossover this year. It seems as if, to coincide with Arrow's final season, they're just kind of like going fucking balls out. They got Burt Ward to come back to play fucking Robin in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
They announced that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't hard to get Burt Ward to come back as Robin. Like, let me check my schedule. 2019? Is that the year you said? Yeah, I'm free.
He's got a business, right? Like, you know, he sells dog food and shit. He does. He's such a fucking hardcore dog fan that he's made.
Should I not have laughed as loud as I did at him selling dog food?
That was that laughter of ridicule. Burt Ward will have the last laugh on you. If you have
Holy
a dog,
derision,
he
Batman.
makes this fucking food that makes dogs live long. He's got dogs that are like 150 years old and shit.
How much CBD does he put in that?
Exactly, pumps it up high. But yeah, he obviously don't need the work and shit. But we had him on Comic Book Man, and we had to wait like a couple years to get him. It wasn't like he answered on the first phone call. I think it was like 4 or 5 seasons in, maybe 6 seasons in. But he does. He's got a life. He don't need this shit. It's very fucking sweet that he actually said yes to it.
That is pretty cool.
Think about it. It's not like he's sitting there going, "Oh my God, this will kickstart my fucking career." Like, I think Bert's in his 70s at this point. So if he's doing it, I don't know him that well. I've interviewed him at cons. I've been on a couple panels with him and talked to him backstage. My impression, generally speaking, of the guy, and having worked within the structure of CW as well, nobody getting rich, you know, doing a part like that. He's doing it because he thinks fans will dig it, which is really fucking sweet. Because again, he's an old man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, he knows he's probably gonna have to put on some form of costume.
He's gonna have to climb up a building.
Yes, and he may not have bare legs, but he's gonna be wearing a very Robin-esque costume and shit like that. And you know, he don't have to do that at this point. He did that throughout his life. The fact that he's doing it now, I think, is kind of like sweet. It's him going like, look, the kids will love it. Let's fucking put on the domino mask one more time. You know, it's pretty dope and shit. The only sad part is, you know, we wish Adam West was here to do it with them. Like, we've gotten to a place where they're doing a crisis event where apparently they're playing with their media heritage and lineage. So Brandon Routh has been announced as Spider-Man. Superman. That'd be amazing.
Wow.
As Superman.
Let's do this one last time. My name is Peter Park.
He's going to play fucking Superman one more time for the first time since Superman returns and shit like that. He normally plays the Atom on that show. Ray Palmer. So on one of the alternate worlds, he's going to be Superman, and Tyler Hoechlin's also going to be Superman, as he is in the CW world. And during a panel, Brandon ripped open his shirt and he showed off the Kingdom Come S. So he's probably playing Kingdom Come Superman. Yeah. That's like fucking incredible. We're at this place right now. So DC definitely had some fucking cool news.
They did. They have some other cool shit coming down the pike that we can't talk about, but we know things. Find us after the show. Don't find us after the show. Because if I say shit, I'm going to get fired. If he says shit, he's just going to get hated on.
Yeah, really.
But no, it's going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's big. This crisis thing is fucking huge. Big. Not just like the normal. They've been doing a great job at these crossovers at CW, but this is massive. What they're doing this one is pretty fucking big. It shows that, you know, they've grown that into such a cottage industry that there's a lot of years where they were told you can't use this, you can't do that, you can't touch these characters, and now they're being given more carte blanche, which is what they deserve, because they've shown themselves to be not just competent storytellers, but like fucking storytellers that stick to, you know, the storylines that we've seen before and stuff, loyal to the storylines and passionate as well. So I can't wait. That's going to be amazing.
Our friend of the show, David DeSmolchin, launched a comic book that he's writing in San Diego. I was so happy for him.
He told me about this back. Dave is, if you've seen the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot trailer, he opens the trailer with Donnell Rawlings and stuff. And so while he was there shooting the flick, he told me about this cool idea for a show, for a book. That's what he's doing as a comic book, but this could easily be a fucking TV show. Tell him what it is.
Count Crawley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter, which I'm on board just for the fucking name. Yeah. Let's see. It takes place in the mid-'80s and centers on a once-rising TV journalist who moves back to her hometown in the Midwest after she hits a career snaggle with alcoholism. She hosts the nightly creature feature, but soon learns that her job comes with hidden duties, hunting monsters themselves. Count Crawley, her missing predecessor, was one of the last appointed monster hunters in the world. Monsters are actually real and are trying to control the world's news and information. But yeah, man, this sounds fucking dope, and I am so happy that Desmalchin is expanding his weird fucking empire in between starring in all of the movies that I love.
I know, he's fucking in so many goddamn flicks. But yeah, that is a cool project.
Yeah,
You could easily see how that could be like a TV show or a movie as well.
Totally. He's going to be in Dune, which I think might have wrapped production already. He's going to be in Guardians 3 whenever the hell that happens.
He's in
gonna be
Suicide Squad.
2. So yes, it is so awesome. I'm sorry, did I fuck up your signing system?
Not at all.
All right, good. Did you see the Star Trek Picard trailer? Are you a Trekkie?
I am a low-key Trekkie, yeah. Like, fucking, yeah. I guess I know enough about it, but I can't say I've seen every episode of Next Generation. I've certainly not seen every episode of the classic series and stuff. But I have enough of a working knowledge of it and respect for it. I've seen all the movies in theaters and stuff. So, I guess I'm a low-key Trekkie.
Did you watch the trailer?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like, look, when they pulled open the drawer, sorry, my jersey came out. And you saw Data in pieces, I was like, oh my God, man. Like, that's a brilliant tease. They'll probably make us wait until the last episode of this, and then the trailer ends with fucking Data, and you're like, they're doing everything right. Like, they teased it, and then they gave them to you, and then, there's reports of more folks coming.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes said that he was, like, shooting his scenes with him today.
And they're doing Marina Sirtis as well. Like, why not, man? Like, and I thought the show looked legit interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of went for it. I think it's cute that he's got the dog because he does that dog shit in real life. Like, he's all about rescue dogs.
Does he use Burt Ward's dog chow?
Yeah, you really got it in for Robin, motherfucker.
I'm trying to tie all this
Who are
shit
you,
together.
fucking the Joker and shit like that? Trying to beat him with a crowbar? He's our fucking childhood hero.
No, I love like the last ride stories. Here's a guy it's fucking winter of his life who just I want to do one more heist, one last job, one last mission, one last time I get to engage and somebody makes a ship go. Like I'm here for that.
And how many episodes did they say?
It's on CBS All Access, so if I had to guess, I'd say 13, between 10 and 13.
Wow.
Per season.
I mean, I'm not making a joke, but he's how old is he? 13 episode commitment is a lot to ask of a guy of his age. They could easily get away with
early
6 or 8.
70s, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, could you imagine back to that grind of a schedule? That's, well, good for him. He wants it. Obviously, he wouldn't be there. And he clearly doesn't seem like somebody that needs the money. Because think about it, man. He walked away from Picard so long ago and shit. He'd been fucking Professor X for the last 100 years. So, the Picard thing must be oh, this will be fun. I get to go play in this world again. And I'm sure they're paying him a fucking king's ransom. 79?
Oh, shit.
This has to be one episode long. Oh, my God. Let this guy rest, for fuck's sake. Yeah, really, that was it. We saw the entire Picard, that trailer.
Hope you liked it.
Wow, man, good for him. Fuck, I hope fucking at 79, people are like, we want to do Silent Bob this year. I was like, sign me up. Push me around in a chair. I'll be saying nothing. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't have to say shit as Silent Bob.
No, the other one, though.
He'd probably be dead at that point. That'd be crazy, man. Picard, he's got to actually say some shit to make his money.
You might have to walk and everything.
That'd be crazy. Wow, I can't wait to watch that show, actually. I'm more interested in that. I watched the first few of the new show, which were good, but my big beef with it was Jesus, these Klingons look expensive. It's just way too much makeup going on and stuff like that. But this, I think I would really get into because I do love the old timer goes back storyline. As an old timer now, that's all I fucking love.
All right, I have one more little thing before we get to Marvel.
Okay.
Did you see the A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood trailer?
Yeah.
God,
it was fucking.
Holy shit.
We all knew he would crush it, but fuck. He looked good in the one photo they put out. He put out a while ago. But, it's Hanks. Can't escape the fact that it's Hanks, nor do you want to and shit.
No.
But my God, did he channel Mr. Rogers.
It is the last scene in the trailer that fucking broke me. When he's sitting on the subway, and like, you know, the Benetton version of the present, like just fucking black, Hispanic kids, Asian kids, whatever. Look, hey, Mr. Rogers! And everybody starts singing the fucking theme song, and I just cried. He's being recognized for his life's work and the fucking kids, and he's singing his song, and he just looks and says, well, isn't that a thing? It's fucking Mr. Rogers, goddamn, you made me cry the whole fucking movie. I need all the tissues. That was me, the last 10 seconds of that fucking trailer. I can't go see the movie. I just can't.
Do you think they cover, did you watch the documentary?
Yeah.
The documentary is fucking astounding. But do you think they cover, because if I remember correctly, this story happens way late in his life. It happened only like I think 10 years ago or something, that the guy went to interview him, and he was like, how do I interview Fred Rogers? And Fred Rogers opened his heart and shit. Everything you see in the trailer. But I wonder if they'll cover the era when he went to speak to Congress. Yeah. Because when I watched that in the documentary, like, you know, they put a clip in there, but then I went to the internet and watched the whole
It's like 11
hearing.
minutes.
Fred Rogers at one point, I'm sure most people fucking know this if you've seen the documentary, but I hope they do it in the movie, because fuck, it was just made for a movie. Like, you know, the government was about to pull funding of PBS and shit like that, because it was a dark, corrupt government that just wanted whatever, fuck.
Yeah. You know, the past.
Yeah. This happened a long time ago, and it'll never happen again. So they were trying to pull funding from PBS, and they had a bunch of people come in, talk to, you know, the fucking Senate, the Hill, whatever, fuck, whoever says you can have money. Congress, I don't know, but they had to walk up steps, just like that fucking cartoon bill. I don't know, wherever the fuck they went and shit. So they're talking to a bunch of people trying to say, like,
Capitol Hill.
Yes. Trying to figure out, like, why do we fucking paying for public television? Fuck this noise. And he gets up there and gives the most eloquent, beautiful fucking speech that still works today. It's fucking timeless about how important public funding is for public television. And it's like something out of a movie. The guy who's the head of the committee or whatever, like literally in the beginning, he's like, all right, Rogers, what do you got? You know, pulling up his sleeves and like, you're not going to win this one. It's tailor-made. And then Mr. Rogers just fucking breaks with the truth and all heart and shit.
Yeah. It's like, I like to teach children how to have access to their emotions, because if we can't understand who we are inside, we can't be good citizens outside. And I like to do it through songs. It's like, if I can, I'd like to tell you some of the lyrics to the songs. And he just starts talking about how, like, some days you're angry and some days you want to fight. Some days you want to pout and some days you want to bite. But if you just sit down and talk to your friends, that maybe you don't have to be angry again. Or whatever the fuck it was. And,
fucking give it up. That was awesome. Because even if you were just making it up, it all rhymed, man. You could have just been freestyling for all I knew. But was that what he said?
Nah, just freestyle it.
That was impressive.
Not
You're
bad.
a modern day Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. But like at the end of that, like whatever, 8 minutes that it is, which was all off the fucking cut. He didn't come with a speech prepared. He just says, I'm just going to talk to you about what we do. And the fucking like the Muppet villain was like, you know what? You just got your money.
It really is. It's so tailor-made for me. When you watch it, this happened in the real fucking world. Like, you watch this motherfucker's face slowly melt from, like, to... And he's beside himself at the end. He can't believe that this gentle man fucking talked him out of millions of dollars. But he's like, you did it, Rogers. You saved it. It's fucking beautiful. I hope they put that in the flick. Even if it's like that happened before he met this guy and shit, just... go back and show that moment. That's why I thought when they were on the subway, I was like, oh shit, maybe he's in New York. Because they shot that show in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, man.
That's a city.
That's how we wound up with Betty Aberlin, who was Lady Aberlin, has been in so many of our flicks because we went to shoot Dogma there. Extras casting lady was like, Betty Aberlin wants to come in to audition. And I was like, Betty Aberlin? Is that like she related to Lady Aberlin from Mr. Rogers? She goes, that is Lady Aberlin. And I was like, she does not have to audition. She can have the part, man.
She's royalty.
And she played the nun, the one that like Matt Damon as Loki is talking her out of religion at the end and shit like that. So we've put her in a bunch of stuff. She was in Jersey Girl, which is this movie with her. Kilroy was here. She's wonderful, but she was there at Ground Zero for like Fred Rogers, and she wasn't in the documentary. And they had her in the documentary, you know, the young footage of her and shit, because she's there. The episode where they talk about Kennedy's assassination, she was talking to Daniel Tiger or something like that. But I asked her why she was like, why did they go to you for the documentary? And she said, yeah. I said, why didn't you do it? And she was like, you can't capture that man. Like, she was like, there's nobody that could, and you know, she's like, I love Tom Hanks, but like Fred Rogers, you couldn't do him justice. I couldn't sit down and even try to relate who he was, what he meant to the culture and stuff. It is astounding. She held him and still holds him in the highest fucking regard. But that fucking trailer is tear-jerking, dude.
Every time I see like Mr. Rogers trending, I'm like, no.
He's back.
No. They didn't learn some shit that I don't want to know.
Oh.
No.
I thought you meant, oh
he's
shit,
beautiful.
they
He's the
raised
last
him. They
beautiful
raised him
person.
from the grave and shit. And he's like, deal with this, children.
Sometimes the dead come back.
It's like even after death, Mr. Rogers is helping us.
But yeah, no, that warmed my heart. And it dropped, I think, like the Friday of Comic-Con.
No, I think it was after. They dropped on like Monday or some such shit. It was after Comic-Con. They steered clear.
I don't know how time or space works, man. I think it was Friday. Maybe it's Monday. It's all good. Can we fucking talk about Marvel now?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Marvel just fucking...
They're making Blade, motherfucker! Blade!
That to me,
Blade,
honestly, was the weirdest, not weirdest, but the most out of left field. Never would have predicted it. Couldn't see it coming. Never would have danced that much. Had no idea that one was coming. I just thought that, you know, why would they touch that? They're in the future. That's the past. But oh my God, like it makes a lot of sense.
All the sense. And I love that, according to Feige, he was like, yeah, you know, Mahershala, he called us and said he wanted to have a meeting. And we didn't know what the meeting was about. And we were hoping that it was going to be about what we hoped it was going to be about. It's like, and he walks in the door and he says, I want to be Blade. And we said, that's what we wanted the meeting to be about. Yes. Because when the double Oscar winner says, I want to be Blade, you say yes.
Yeah. I think he's an amazing actor. But how weird, man. He will now have played 2 Marvel characters. Right?
Yep.
From Luke Cage and now this as well. So in some conceivable world, he could fight himself.
And I think it works. I mean, the Doctor Strange stuff, like it's all fucking magic. And
Hold on,
urban and whatever.
let's go through it piece by piece.
I'm just saying, like it makes.
God, you're just fucking going for everything, trying to get it done. Like I want the anal too. Just slow, man, slow.
Eternals.
We got a lifetime together. All right. They announced Phase 4, and Phase 4 is 10 different projects. Do you have the chart?
Take.
I'll pull it up on my phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, including the
It's
TV
my
stuff.
wallpaper. No.
Yes.
Will Wilkins was in there the whole time. Come on, man. Yeah, recognize me.
You better recognize.
And he was sending me live updates because I was the next panel and shit. So I was getting ready at home, AKA I was smoking that caviar. And so he was feeding me constant fucking updates. And so he sent me, oh, it was fantastic. He sent me the little chart. Here we go. Okay. 10 of them. Number 1,
Black
starting in 2020. What month is that?
That is May 1st, 2020.
May 1st. God, that's the next. We got to wait till May to get another Marvel movie? Fucking jerks. Black Widow. Let's discuss.
Yes.
Number 1, yay.
Yeah.
But we all knew this. This
We
was
all knew it was
already
coming.
happening. It kicks off Phase 4. But it's a story set in the past, likely set in Budapest. The Budapest they're always referring to. It's confirmed, so it's a Budapest story. So which means Hawkeye will probably be in it as well, right?
Yes. Along with Rachel Weisz, David Harbour.
And David Harbour's playing the fucking he's like the red Captain America. What was he called? Red Soldier or something like that? Fucking,
remember.
anybody know that character's name? Red Guardian. Well, who said that? Fucking A, man. Well done. You earn your fucking stripes, my friend. Red Guardian, which is the fucking the Russian equivalent to Captain America. All that's great. I'm on board. But this is a story set in the past, and this is how they kick off Phase 4. So I can't imagine that this is just like, oh, this is unfinished business. We just, they told us that fucking Phase 3 ends with Spider-Man, Far From Home. Phase fucking 4 begins with this movie, Black Widow. Does that mean that Black Widow, this fucking story set in the past, is going to have significance not to the Phase 1, 2, and 3, but to Phase 4?
It might. They've been playing with some time travel shenanigans, so one never can tell.
Since it precedes the Eternals, one would imagine that has to play some sort of role. So maybe they reveal they've been with us all along or some such shit.
It could.
They got to tie them together, right? Because this happens in May. When's the Eternals happen? November. So it's May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months later, I did the math.
I counted.
They're going to make the Eternals happen, and nobody's heard shit about the Eternals. This is as unpre-sold as fucking Guardians. Mm-hmm. So they got to do some fucking seeding of the franchise. It has to occur in Black Widow. And I'm not just talking about like the end credits and shit. Like, I got to imagine, like, if they're leading Phase 4 with Black Widow, can't be about tying up old storylines. It's got to have something to do with what's going forward. You think?
It could, and
don't give me that it could shit.
Yes.
Do you think?
Yes.
You agree?
I agree. I concur.
Scott, thank you. I was just looking for you to conquer.
But and also, Loki's got a tesseract and has been traveling back through time. It is entirely possible that he, as another member of a alien race that has been mistaken for gods, much like the Eternals, which are the Greek gods, where the Asgardians are the Norse gods, could somehow tie some of that shit together.
That's the one that, I'm going for all of these, but that's the one I'm least sold on is the Eternals. Not like I'm like, this is going to suck, but like I have no familiarity. If I remember correctly, there were only there were less than 20 issues of the Eternals. Like this is deep cuts fucking Marvel. Not even like when they announced Guardians, I'm like, that piece of shit. Like, this is like, what? Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing this at a show in '95 on a wall for like $3. What the fuck is this? But this is Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby went back to Marvel and kind of finished his New Gods run and called it the Eternals, more or less. And that's what we're getting. They announced a huge cast.
They did.
They brought out all the Jolies. Every one of them took the stage. Angelina Jolie in this. Fucking Kumail's in this.
Kumail. Richard Madden is playing
Richard
Icarus.
Madden. Richard Madden's the King of the North, right?
Yep.
Till they cut his head off. And Bodyguard.
Yeah. And Brian Tyree Henry.
Now who's that?
Yeah. He was Miles Morales' dad. The voice of Miles Morales' dad in Spider-Verse.
Who is he in real life when he's not a cartoon?
He's in Atlanta. He was in
He's in
Widows.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's great. He's phenomenal. But he's playing Hephaestus.
And
Festus.
Salma's in it as well?
Salma Hayek is playing blah, 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 blah. Hold on. I had it here. I copy and pasted that shit.
She's in it. We'll learn their names later.
Ajax, leader of the Eternals. Yes.
All of these characters, they got to make us care about them quick, right? In order to make this shit work. Guardians, we cared about quick because, hey, it's tied into this shit somehow and whatnot. So they got to tie this shit into it somehow. And the Eternals have been around for like a red hot minute. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if they're set in the present or if this is a story set in the past. But somebody pointed out that all their colors represent the Infinity Stones.
Then again, those are just like primary colors. Like, look, it's red and yellow and green and blue. Where do we get these fucking colors from?
So it's either the Infinity Gauntlet or a box of Crayola. What is it?
The collector said they were connected in the first Guardian.
He said.
The collector is talking about the stone.
What'd he say?
He says that he's talking about the original super beings that could wield them and then show the giant guy and smash them.
And he don't call them the Eternals though, did he? Celestials. The Celestials are part of the Eternals? You're just making shit up now, aren't you, man? Now we're in the internet, fuck.
Yeah. The Celestials and the Eternals and the Humans are all the fucking same thing because they all have the same colors.
All right. So they're gonna tie it in somehow.
They will. They'll find a way.
And they gotta keep them stones alive, right? I mean, I know that storyline's done, but still, it's like,
You don't need stones when you got rings.
what do you mean?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
You're going too fucking far. We're going in order.
That is
God,
order.
I don't
That's
know.
the next thing they
no,
talked
it's
about.
not. It's not. I'm doing the fucking
You
chart.
tell me. I'm doing movies.
They put a fucking chart. God damn it. And I call you a newsman. After the Eternals, in
what?
spring of 2021, this is where the plan gets insidious. It's not just in the movie theaters. Now you have to get the Disney Plus app because the storylines are running through the series on Disney Plus that Kevin Feige is overseeing, and they're all tied into the movie. So this isn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where there exists in a Marvel universe that the movies don't seem to acknowledge at all. These shows are going to be integrated into the movies. Storylines will carry through from the movies into the series and then back out into the next movie.
Yeah.
That made me fucking excited. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant, man. Like,
So what's next on your pirated poster?
well, WandaVision is next, which is, now that has to also be set in the past, right? Because he fucking died. Spoilers.
It's not set in the past. It is post-Vision. I mean, Bettany, I think, will be like kind of in it, but he's dead in WandaVision.
Oh, so the Vision in WandaVision isn't about Vision? Wanda's vision of what?
Vision.
That's it. It's her vision. What she wanted to create, sees what she wants to shape. Well, not shape. She's got to hide that.
She sees seashells by the seashore.
Wait, are you just making this up? You read it what? Go ahead, explain it again.
Basically, WandaVision leads into Doctor Strange, and she's in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And she's the bad guy, so I think they're going to house of that.
Yes.
What the fuck does that tell me about WandaVision, man? God damn it, you sounded like you knew some shit. I just want to know, so Vision's not in one? Shh, you had your chance. Vision is not co-star of WandaVision?
I think he will be in it in memory and in sort of like, she is the most powerful witch on the fucking planet. She can conjure versions of Vision back, but not
so
actual.
is he gonna be like 6 in fucking Battlestar Galactica? Like she sees him
Could very well be.
only in her imagination and shit?
Yeah.
But she's a powerful witch. She could bring him back. Can't she just fucking remake him? He's a fucking robot. Make him
He's
again.
a fucking robot. But
Is Paul Bettany in it?
He's in it. It's
And he's-
intended to explore the Scarlet Witch's headspace after losing her boyfriend and being dust for 5 years.
In the where 5 years?
She was snapped away.
So she comes back, but he don't.
Correct, because he died before the snap.
Right.
He dies pre-snap.
And we don't think she's just gonna make a new Vision?
Maybe she does.
She fucking better. She's so powerful, man. I rewatched Endgame recently with Muse in a hotel and shit. And that fucking moment where she like lands and she's like, you took everything from me. Is so awesome. He goes, I don't even know who you are. Oh my God, it's fucking so
And she's
awesome.
the one who gets him to launch the fucking missiles.
Yeah.
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 And she almost breaks
Where
him.
he's like, rain, fire. Yeah, that was fucking dope, man. Just do it.
Kill me, I'm here!
The greatest Nike commercial of all time. Rain, fire, just do it. Swoosh. Okay, then in spring of 2021, which is right around the same time, these two things are happening
See,
concurrently.
your thing is fucked up because Falcon
My thing
Winter
is not
Soldier-
fucked up.
It
This
is.
comes off Kevin Feige's fucking screen.
Falcon Winter Soldier is in 2020 and you're already in 2021.
Bullshit, dude. It is not.
It is!
Fall 20. Oh, you know what? I went this way. I don't know how to read a graph.
Feige's
You're right.
never wrong!
So it goes, well, Feige wrong, I was wrong. Kevin read it wrong. So it goes like this.
Yeah.
I thought it was going like this. and
It's
like
a timeline.
Who fucking does this? Don't we read left to right? What the fuck? All right, so starts with fucking Black Widow, then goes from May 2020 to fall of 2020, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes.
We knew about this. They kind of talked about this before. But will he be Cap?
That, I think, is the crux of what that show's going to be.
Oh,
Is it-
duh.
Yeah, the government doesn't want Sam Wilson to be Captain America.
Are you shitting me? That's
Yeah.
the story? Do you
I
know
think that's
that?
the story. Yeah.
You think? Why do you know that? Did they say that?
I read it.
Somebody wrote it?
Somebody wrote it, put it on the internet.
That's a fucking good storyline. He
That's a
said
good
he
story.
got fitted for a new suit. So,
But he's got the shield, and they don't want him to have it. They want somebody else to be Captain America. And Zemo is back.
yes!
Yes.
With the mask! They're putting the fucking pink mask on Zemo. I was so delighted to hear that. I fucking was texting with Will Wilkins, and he was like, Zemo's back. And I wrote, with the mask? And he wrote back, fuck yes! Oh, that was awesome. All right, so that's what's going to happen. And I'm in. Look, I was in for those guys, but I'm fucking in. I'm back for Zemo in a mask. That's fucking phenomenal. Then we go to Eternals in November, which is roughly the same time, fall, November. We're in a movie theater to see the Eternals. So think about it. This show happens, and then during the show, they could be running fucking promos for Eternals, so they're pushing you back to the theater. You go to the theater, see that. Then November 2020 to February 2021 is
Shang-Chi.
and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is exciting for old school Marvel fans. Master of Kung Fu. Apparently, they're not going to call him that, but that's what he is. Shang-Chi is the Master of Kung Fu. One of Marvel's favorite 70s characters. Not to mention a chance for them to have their own Asian superhero.
Yes.
A missed opportunity with Iron Fist, as we saw, but they're not missing it here. There was talk for years about whether or not they could do this because his origin, the character's origin, is tied up with Fu Manchu. Fu Manchu, which is owned by somebody else.
It's like the National Features Syndicate or whatever.
So they tried to extricate him, but they found a way to fucking do it and make us all happy by announcing that the bad guy would be none other than the real Mandarin.
Yes. Not the guy.
Not the Ben Kingsley one, which to be fair was fun.
No, not even the Guy Pearce one.
Yes.
But like the actual, like Tony Leung is playing the actual fucking Mandarin.
And the Ten Rings, you got to remember, has been there since the start of the Marvel Universe. Like fucking once Iron Man in the desert, he was kidnapped by the Ten Rings, and before he was Iron Man and stuff. Iron Man 3, they fucking used the Ten Rings as a front and stuff. And there was that little short after Iron Man, you know, where he went to jail and fucking Ben Kingsley went to jail and he ran into Sam Rockwell and there was like, there is a real Mandarin. So it took him a minute, but they fucking got to the real Mandarin. So this is going to be fucking huge, right? I mean, Marvel doing a Kung Fu movie, fuck.
I'm all about that shit.
Then in the spring of 2021, we go to WandaVision. Then from WandaVision, which is spring of 2021, to May 2021, so roughly around the same time, again, the series happens, and while you're watching WandaVision, they're like, coming soon, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of fucking Madness. They've announced this is their first real horror title. They're going for it. Scott Derrickson, who directed Doctor Strange, also directed some horror movies prior to this, so he's got the absolute right sensibility for it. And they've announced, as my man said before, that Scarlet Witch is going to be in it too. This sounds... What? Have we rented a theater for? We will, to be sure. This movie sounds absolutely fucking tremendous. We don't know shit about it, but the title.
No.
But Multiverse of Madness,
Like
that means there is a multiverse, and there is. They said in fucking Doctor Strange there was a multiverse.
Yeah, and Mysterio wasn't just blowing smoke up his ass. There
Right.
actually is a fucking multiverse.
Yeah, yeah.
It does also lead me to believe that when Scott Derrickson says this is going to be the first Marvel horror movie, that we may never see the New Mutants.
It's true. Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
Or it'll be on streaming or something, but it does not
Well,
seem
maybe
as
they mean the first Marvel Studios horror
I
movie.
guess, but Fox now belongs to Disney, which now belongs to everything, so...
Yes, I saw somebody's announcement where they're like, congratulations to Disney on beating Disney for the top spot, previously owned by Disney, as Disney sits by and watches and Disney celebrates.
So yes, after Doctor Strange,
After
Loki.
Doctor Strange, we jump up to also spring of 2021 for Loki, which we've heard about previously. Tom Hiddleston returning, and the plot is Loki tripping through time with the Tesseract, the one we saw disappear from
2012.
From Endgame. Isn't that fucked up? So, like, in Endgame, their biggest fucking movie ever, they seeded their TV show. Like,
I mean-
that's how far out ahead they are, man.
And we
And I
talked
remember
about
when
that.
that happened. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, hey, they didn't tie that up. They're like, that's the show, asshole. So fuck, I'll watch that, and you know, fuck, like it's smart too because like Loki's gonna be set in the past, and it's Loki from phase 1, 2, and 3. So there'll be lots of nice familiarity from the old phases as we're heading into Worlds of Eternals and stuff like that. As the new kids are coming, they're still supported by the veteran players, with storylines that tie into the shit that they made us fall in love with over the course of 10 years. It's a real fucking smart plan, man. Insidious as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel as if, though, at least from what we're gathering, that Phase 4 is building to an event the way that, like, Phases 1, 2, and 3 built. You know? Like, it just doesn't seem as if it's, the Infinity Gauntlet saga is over. Like, we're not doing that again, which I'm actually kind of fine with.
Unless this is part 1 of the build to Galactus.
Ooh.
I mean, we know that he referenced Fantastic Four on that stage, nothing specific, but so, if you're going to build to another big bad, who better than the World Eater himself? And in their hands, in the hands of Marvel Studios. All right, so summer 2021, back on the Disney Plus channel, we get What If, animated What If.
Yes.
Featuring all the voices of the Marvel Studios performers. So, fucking, Cumberbatch, he'll be doing the voice of Doctor Strange. Like, this is fucking
like
smart.
Haley Atwell is coming back to do Peggy Carter again.
What if she was Captain America storyline? What If, of course, for those that, if you don't follow this sort of thing, was Marvel's comic of, hey, here's the continuity, here are stories where we fuck with the continuity.
Right.
Which is funny because it's like, here are made-up stories and here are made-up stories about the made-up stories that they had to single out separately so that fans of the made-up stories wouldn't be mad about the new made-up stories.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It was Elseworlds before there was an Elseworlds.
Long before. How nice, man, that they get to
and
fucking do it. And Kevin Feige, of course, the genius behind. Let's bring that in.
And Jeffrey Wright is voicing the Watcher.
Yes, Owatu. What a great voice he's got.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh, my God. So then after What If, still on the Disney Plus channel, looks like that summer is What If, and then the fall, they launch Hawkeye with Jeremy Renner. And based on what we saw, they're doing the Kate Bishop storyline. But somebody said this takes place in the past. Did you hear anything?
I didn't. No.
I would hope it takes place
You want to
post
see next?
after Endgame.
Totally.
But somebody was like, yeah, but he was Ronin in Endgame. But I'm like, yeah, but at the end of Endgame, like,
He's not Ronin anymore.
yeah, he had his family back and shit
Yeah,
like
he
that.
starts being a rock star, cutting Jeep commercials.
I hope it's future Hawkeye, not past Hawkeye. And then the last one was Thor: Love and Thunder. And for this, number 1, Taika Waititi coming back, of course. Number 2, Natalie Portman coming back as Jane, and they're going to turn her into Lady Thor. They're doing the Mighty Thor storyline from the comics.
Jason Aaron run.
The Jason Aaron run, and apparently letting Lady Thor into the mix. What is that? I know, now it's part of continuity, man. So that's pretty darn sweet, man. What a great fucking...
And Valkyrie is still the reigning king of Asgard, and she will get herself a queen.
They announced that?
Yeah. Yeah. The first, out LGBT character in the Marvel Universe is going to be Valkyrie.
Wow, man. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
God, that's smart and good.
It is both of those
yeah,
things.
some shit is just, I don't know what else to call it. That's just
saying.
fucking, what a masterstroke that was. Fuck.
Yeah. And so, Feige also said that we are going to get a Black Panther 2 is coming, Guardians 3 is coming, Captain Marvel 2 is coming, Fantastic Four is coming, and then Mahershala with fucking Blade hat on is also coming.
That's, boy, what a heady mixture of.
For what was just going to be like, oh, the Russos are coming to do a panel, and it's just kind of going to be like, goodbye to Marvel, thanks for Phase 3, guys, it was amazing. Turns into, oh, shit, we're going to tell you all the fucking things.
And make you happy to be alive for the next fucking 2 years, man. Here's your reason not to die, fuckers. I love Marvel. Fuck, man. Thoughts on all of that? I was honestly, I'm not disappointed, but I'm shocked that Fantastic Four is not part of Phase 4.
I mean,
But I guess it's Phase 5. That's where
or
it's going
that
to happen.
also might not be all of Phase 4.
No, I think they told us the truth. They lived up to what they said about the other ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were never like, and plow, here's the secret one we never told you. D23? Yeah, it's true,
Yeah.
D23. I wonder what they'll tell us there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That
mean, I just
Marvel's going to have announcements? More than that they showed us? How much more dick are they hiding, man? Oh my God, this is people that can only fuck just the tip. Lest they fucking kill whoever they engage with because there's just so much fucking dick, it never ends. And it's fucking thick and luscious, and even though we can't take it, we're like, keep going. Fuck. That'd be amazing if they announced some other shit, man. God damn it. Fucking in. What's going on? You steal somebody's crutch? Speaking of dick? Oh, because he stole a crutch? That's funny. What's the story with the crutch?
fractured toe. She wants a sound crutch.
Oh my God, right on. How'd you fracture the toe?
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga. What the fuck? That's some fighty shit, right?
Yeah.
Did you kick somebody?
Yeah, I did.
And did they hurt as bad as your foot?
No, they felt really bad though.
They felt bad that they hurt your foot with their body?
Yeah, they broke your toe with their head.
I said it's okay. You didn't ruin my street cred, so.
Fair enough. Hey man, sign. Throw that over there.
All right. Crutch delivery.
What is this? I just signed 2 of these, and this one says this is for me. Whose is this? A big league pillow? And explain. It's a pillow made of?
Gum! Sorry.
Pillow made of gum?
Big League Chew, man. They made fucking pillows.
Oh my God, they're personalized pillows designed for kids to dream big. This is awesome, and I get to keep this one? Fucking A, check that out, man. Big League Pillows, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice, thank you. These are you guys. All right, did we hit all the, I don't know how to sign this one in black, man. Do you have like a white marker or something? Somebody gave me a black marker to sign a black shirt, and I mean, I hate to be this guy, but duh. Nate, you got something that might write on black cloth?
That's all the news, baby.
That's all the news. Marc disseminated all the news there is to print. Give it up for Marc Bernard, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, Red's not going to show up either. Grimjack. Let's talk about that too. Yeah, fucking the Russo brothers announced they're doing Grimjack.
Oh, you were
Which
just
is-
talking about fucking.
I'm always talking about how Grimjack could be an awesome series. They fucking apparently grew up with it as well, and they're also announced that they're doing Battle of the Planets, man. That's fucking nuts. Nuts, man. Fuck. Could you imagine, after the Avengers movies, they could literally probably just be like, we're going to raise the Titanic. And people be like, fucking A, man. Like, is Iron Man coming?
Speaking of Titanic,
Yes.
Endgame did finally, officially, become the highest grossing movie of all time. After they found $2 million lying around.
We're all so happy because all of us get to participate in the profits, and so that's why we're so happy some mega corporation made a bunch of money we don't get. I don't know why I have a rooting interest in that sort of thing, but I was very delighted that that happened. And you know, yeah, there was a period where it was like, oh, they're off by a lot. But in finals, as they're bringing in tallies of the money, I guess they found a bunch of...
Yeah.
Found a bunch of loot. They're like, how much? What's the difference? We found that.
But James Cameron actually did put out this actually kind of super chill, and it's a picture of Iron Man with the little fucking glowy things from Avatar landing on his armor. And just congratulations, guys, for being the #1 movie. I guess you can't be king of the world for more than a decade or some shit like that.
Right on. I don't know what to say to that.
Fuck those pink.
That's just fucking way above my pay grade. People that have made billions of fucking dollars talking to each other through fucking newspapers is that's just so fucking huge. But I'm sure he's like, enjoy it for now. because it's pretty close, right, to what
just-
the record was on Avatar, so they
Yeah.
could potentially, right before Avatar 2, release Avatar 1 again, catch another 20 to 50, and then fucking their number one again, and then fucking Avengers is like, hold on, fucking end dish game, the edition. But yeah, now they're just fucking like fighting themselves.
We attached the Snyder cut to the fucking end game.
Yeah, man, it's for whatever reason I was kind of happy about that. The fact that that did break a record seemed a little convenient, but hey, whatever. Most happy endings are, right? I'm not questioning. I'm not saying they made that shit up.
No, we would never.
I'm just happy it happened and shit. Yeah, apparently there's more news. Any more news that we forgot from fucking San Diego? Or rather, he forgot from San Diego?
Fucking cats.
What was it? Hold on one second. J.J. Abrams what?
He's going to be directing Superman and Lantern movies.
What? What? J.J. Abrams is going to be directing...
Yeah, it was just announced like 8 hours ago.
8 hours ago, somebody said that J.J. Abrams is going to be directing Superman. Somebody check this. Check his math, JC. Is this accurate?
Yeah.
Somebody just said, oh shit, yeah, on the back. What the fuck, Mark?
Hold on. What
You got one fucking job. This guy knew and you didn't.
what website is this we're reading off of?
Warner Brothers didn't go to Comic-Con. What's the fucking news? Somebody pull it up. Who's got the news? You get to be on the show.
Well,
Hold
what
on.
website is this we're reading off of?
Come up here into the light. Come into the light. Come into the light. Come up here. It's over here about JC. I guess you can come up here.
What's this? I'm getting it on Cosmic Book News. That I don't.
Yeah.
That's not variety.
This smells like Rumor Patrol. For
Did
real.
you get me some Cosmic Book News? Where else did you? Is that where you heard it? Same story?
Oh, Facebook.
right.
They've never lied about anything.
Uh,
Oh, he signed a deal with Warner Brothers.
That's true.
We know that
We
JJ
talking about
has
that.
signed a deal with
Tell
Warner
me
Brothers.
this Superman Green Lantern shit. Oh, yeah. Move on. Sit down, man.
JJ wants to tackle, but still, he wants to tackle Superman?
Yeah, he wrote a
He
wrote a
wrote that
script.
Superman script years ago. Yeah. Yeah, but nobody wants to make that.
So, yes. I stand by my hastily cobbled together news. That
Yeah,
that is
fair
not
enough. I'm
actually
sorry I
true.
came down. I flipped on you hard.
Really
man.
hard, man.
Fuck.
First, that guy Mike, who came last time, his fucking wife was all like, "You should tell him all you know shit." Shut up, Mike.
Is that the last show?
Yeah.
You still carrying that cross around?
Because
This is fucking a month ago, man.
I have one half-ass job.
All right, man. So now we got the part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, where we open it up to you folks. Hey, this was also a gift for me. Who gave me the hat? Right over there? From Big League. Oh my God, you're the gift that keeps on giving. Where can they get the Big League pillows at? So what? BigLeaguePillows.com? BigLeaguePillows.com. And this hat is dope. It's an R2D2 if you can't see it, but he
pretty
feels
cool.
metal.
It lights up too.
It lights up.
It's illuminated.
How do you
It might have died. It charges with USB. It was on the whole time while you guys were yapping there.
That is fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I wear it backwards, but then in the night, people would be like, he fucking really likes R2.
Exactly.
Either that's Kev or R2 is really far away.
You could act. They're actually available at Galaxy's Edge. It's a exclusive.
You get this at Galaxy's Edge?
Ooh, you fancy.
They're available in Droid Depot.
At the Droid Depot. Is that where you got this?
No, I make those as well.
You make this and you sell them at Droid Depot?
Correct.
So Disney buys these from you?
Yeah, I'm really not supposed to talk about it because. But
Yeah.
maybe we can edit that part
you
out.
didn't have to talk about it. Nobody like pulled that shit out of you. You were just like, I thought, hey.
What's magic about that is we rarely, like all of us, give Disney our money. We rarely meet anybody who takes some away from them. You're a unicorn, man. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's sweet, and that's very fucking sweet. All right, here we go. Open it up to Q&A. JC, the fine proprietor of this here establishment. Not to mention, what was your official title? I call you the post supervisor, but I don't know if I'm right about that.
Assistant editor.
It sounds like your job's way bigger than assistant editor. I'm an editor, folks. I like to cut the movies that I shoot and stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to even load the footage into the Avid to cut with it. So without JC, I'd be fucking lost. JC loads all that footage and stuff. And then as we get closer and closer to reality, to finalizing, taking it from my editing laptop into the real world, where people are, well, they don't cut negative anymore, but going through the final process of printing and shit like that. He's been the guy, my right hand throughout the entire process. We just locked picture and sound the other day. The movie's officially fucking done and delivered to the folks that financed it and stuff. And he made it all possible. Thank you, JC. And mind you, he did it while he fucking runs this bar every damn day. So he was spinning many plates at once, but never once dropped ours. And now we're done. And I love the movie, and I can't wait to share it with people. Couldn't share it with people unless you did what you do. So thank you. All right, so JC's picking somebody to go first.
We are giving away. Let's talk about what we're giving away.
Good point. Oh fuck, I forgot that.
Yes, we're giving away 4DX tickets. Our good friends over.
4DX tickets, folks, from our good friends at 4DX. Brett Deacon got us another round. We got 3 sets, right?
We got 3 sets.
3 sets. If you've not seen a movie in the 4DX experience, the chair comes alive and terrifies you for 2 hours straight. Gives you a massage, shoots water and smells into your face. It is fucking tremendous. You see a big action movie in it, it'd be absolutely fucking amazing. So we're giving away 3 sets of tickets, 2 tickets apiece. Also, what comes with it is this week's poster for the show from Nate. Nate Goodall's artwork, ladies and gentlemen. The Dark Nate returns. We've got 3 posters that me and Marc and Nate have signed, so they'll go with the tickets as well.
And we also have an Adora and the Distance pin, thanks to the good folks at Comixology for letting me steal them and make off with them. And one other pin set that I got, the good folks at Think Geek gave me this commemorative Star Trek thing to commemorate the 50th anniversary of DS9 and the 30th anniversary of the Next Gen finale and whatever the fuck. But it's 3 pins that we'll give away to 1 lucky winner.
Or you can break up the set and give 1 pin each.
We could do that too. Really?
Diplomacy.
Nice.
All right, so first question asker has been chosen by JC. What's your name, my friend?
My name's Alex. I'm
Alex?
a Jersey boy.
You're from Jersey? Give it up for Alex from New Jersey. What part?
I grew up in Bayonne, but I live down the shore, and I'm actually going to see you in a few weeks at the Atlantic Highland Playhouse. Because
You going there?
I'm actually an actor there.
Oh, shit. You were at the First Avenue
So
Playhouse?
I'll be working while you're doing your thing, hopefully.
Fucking hey. Well, maybe you can be involved in the reading and shit, because we got lots of parts to read. For those who are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
First Avenue Playhouse in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, is a town over from where I grew up. I grew up in Highlands. Atlantic is 3 miles away. It's the next town. So bigger town than ours. In fact, it is a town, whereas Highlands is technically a borough. Atlantic Highlands is an actual town. So that was where the movie theater is for the Atlantic Highlands Twin Cinema, which is now a multiplex. They have there in town the First Avenue Playhouse, which is a dessert theater and has been for fucking 100, 200 years at this point. So when I was a kid, you'd go see a fucking show and eat some cake and shit. When we were going through Clerks, trying to make Clerks, I went into the First Avenue Playhouse, talked to the owner, Joe Bagnall, and said, hey man, we're gonna make a movie. Can we have auditions here? Can we hold auditions in the Playhouse and stuff? And he was like, what do you mean movie? And I tried to explain indie film to him. And he said, all right, yeah, totally, come on. As long as we can bring in actors from the Playhouse to audition for the movie. I said, please, that would help me, because I didn't know any actors and stuff. So we held auditions there. That's where we found Brian and Marilyn, so Dante and Veronica. And a bunch of other people. Joe, who runs the theater, owns the theater, is in the movie. He's the guy at the counter when the cat's taking a shit. His wife, Donna Jean, was the customer that Randall gets into it with, where, you know, he's like, I don't appreciate your ruse, ma'am, like that lady. The coroner, as well as the guy who gives the fucking ticket, the citation, all these cats came from the First Avenue Playhouse. So the theater's been around for like 100 years, as I said, but they've fallen on financially, I guess, harder times, tough to maintain and keep it up. So there was an article in one of our local papers from back home, and I was like, oh shit, we can raise money for these cats easily. So I came up with the idea, me and Ernie O'Donnell, let's do a fundraiser and we'll use the Clerks 3 script that we're never gonna make and read it out loud so people could hear what the movie was. And we put the tickets at, like, they were premium, they're like $100 or something, but they went fucking fast. So we wound up doing 2 shows. We were only gonna do 1 show because we didn't think it would sell out, but it sold out so fast, we're like, fuck it, let's do another show. So when all's said and done, I think we raised $20,000 for the theater and stuff. And on, yeah, it's very sweet. So on, what is it, August 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th? 3rd and 4th, August 3rd and 4th. August 2nd is my birthday, I'll be 49. I'll fly out to New Jersey, thank you. Fly back to the land of my birth, to the fucking city of my birth, well, to the town of my birth, Red Bank and shit. And well, no, then I'll go to Atlantic Highlands, which is not the town of my birth because I was born in Red Bank, so that is the town of my birth. Highlands is the town I was raised in, but Atlantic was just a town I went to a lot. So going back to a town I went to a lot to do the fundraiser, reading the script out loud, once on a Saturday night and once on a Sunday morning, or Friday night and a Saturday afternoon. I forget what it is.
I honestly...
You're like, I don't fucking know,
No,
dude.
Joe hasn't told me yet what...
I think it's like, yeah, these 2 separate days, Saturday and Sunday. So it's going to be a good time. We're going to read that script because I'll never make that script. It's a very depressing version of Clerks 3. Not the way I want to end those things anymore, or end that story. I want to take one more bite at that apple and stuff, and I think I've got a much better story that I want to tell, a better place to leave my characters at for the rest of their lives. Because right now, you know, they're trapped in the convenience store, which is what they really wanted. But, you know, then we went to black and white, and they were like, ah, shit. So they were kind of fucking trapped. I gotta deliver them out of, I gotta put them in a place, a happily ever after, because those 2 characters gave me so fucking much. On their backs, I've traveled the fucking world. So I got to go everywhere. Dante and Randall are still stuck at the convenience store. So I got to get them out of the convenience store. And the original script for Clerks 3 was too depressing. You know, people, like, I remember people read it and be like, dude, it's really great, but you remember Clerks was a comedy, right? So I do have a different story I want to tell, and so I think I'm going to pursue that. Anyway, we're going to read the old script at the First Avenue Playhouse, and you're an actor there. How fucking awesome. What are you doing out here? Did you go to Comic-Con?
I did.
How awesome was it?
It was great.
Had you ever been before?
Yes, I have.
Right on. How often do you go? All the time?
I try every year if I can.
Right on.
I actually spoke to you at Hall H a few years back telling you about that I thought you should take one of your scripts and bring it to stage, and funny enough, you are.
Fucking hey, man, you planted a seed and shit that I didn't hear until years later. But I heard it. It took a minute.
When you wrote Tusk, I said, oh, that sounds great. Maybe you should do it as a stage play. And you said, no, it's going to be a movie, but...
I mean, Tusk could totally, don't get me started, but it could work as a musical. You know, that outfit is easy to do once we figured it out. And it would look fucking cool on stage, right? Like, kind of like the Audrey 2. Now I'm thinking.
It seems like every time you talk to this dude, he gives you an idea that you will then take and then not pay him money.
Yes. That's a good point, man.
You should not keep telling him things.
Yeah, give me more ideas. What's your question?
On the thing of What If.
Yeah.
I always love that series. And also Elseworld, and they announced that they're going to do Superman Red Sun, Kryptonite. Or Red Sun, I'm sorry.
What, they're doing an animated Red Sun?
Yeah, an animated version. Have you guys read What Ifs? If you were going to write a What If either of you were going to write a What If story, using any characters, Marvel or DC, or what story would you tell?
I have a fucking immediate answer, but...
I don't. You go first.
No, I can't. We can't. We're working on something.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
But let's see. Something that ain't that.
And again, you could do Marvel, DC, or any property.
Okay.
If you want to tell a what-if story, if you want to change the history that we know of, the story we love,
Right.
what would you do?
I got one.
Go.
Bruce Wayne, 007. I think that if you pretended that after the Waynes are killed, rather than raise Bruce Wayne in Wayne Manor, Alfred takes him back to England, and Alfred was a fucking spy. And what do they do when you're like raised by a spy and you're an orphan? In that he'd join the fucking military, he'd get all the training, and he would be absorbed into fucking the James Bond world. And you know, you can have the Joker be the head of Spearnam or whatever the fuck that was, Smersh. That would become Spectre. But you can absolutely play all of the fucking Batman rogues galleries as if they were big bads in James Bond movies.
Bane could be like a Jaws character, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
Moonraker and all things like that.
But just that idea. You get all the gadgets. Alfred is his Q. Commissioner Gordon is his M. Like, it all kind of rather neatly ports over. You just need the rights to fucking James Bond to make that work. And I don't have those. So, but yeah, that's what I'd do.
Fuck, I didn't think of anything in the time that you were talking. I'm just not that imaginative. Let me see. Instantly, I'm like, Batman, but I shouldn't. You just did Batman. What if? My brain hurts.
I
Fuck.
think I broke him.
Yeah. God.
Well, Comic-Con broke him. You just buried him.
This is. Hold on. Let me. No, I can. I think I can get one. What if Jane Silent Bob were in the MCU? Oh, I'd be so rich. Stories would be good too, but fuck the money. Let's see.
What if your parents' names was Thomas and Martha Feige? And now you were Kevin Feige.
I mean, look, I'm not advocating this, and I'm sure it's been done a number of different ways, but if, and again, shouldn't be a feature or some such shit, but, you know, I can't get away from it. I wanted to get away from Batman, but I'm going to go to Batman.
Do it.
Like, what if his parents don't die? What happens to him? What if he became a real piece of shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, maybe, like, his parents have to die in order for him to become the noble person that he becomes, right? Because maybe, if not, he just winds up being a spoiled rich kid and shit like that and turns into the guy who fucking chokes the life out of Gotham, is responsible for all the fucking evil.
Excuse me, isn't that Donald Trump?
Shut the fuck up! But something like that, like, you know, fucking Bruce Wayne as the bad guy. And who'll take him on but a fucking defiant clown?
Ooh.
But that sounds
the
kind of like
Joker's
what
the
the
hero in this
Joker.
one.
But that's what the Joker trailer kind of looks like, right? Like he's standing up with the city or for the city in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. He's Bernie Getz.
Yeah, to some degree. Wow, that's an ancient reference. Man.
It is, but it's for the children.
Yeah, explain that quick.
Bernie Getz was a
Subway vigilante.
Subway vigilante. He was just a New Yorker, just a dude like riding the subway, who had gotten picked on one too many times, and eventually like was carrying a gun and was like blew motherfuckers away on the subway train.
Did he
And
kill anybody or just really critically wound or something?
I don't remember. This was like 1981, 82 or something. But no, it was like
I remember when this was on the news all the time. We grew up
Yeah.
in the New York area. He grew up in New York. I grew up in New Jersey, so it was on the news all the time. And I remember like hearing them constantly say, the subway vigilante, and I was like, did he wear a mask? Because that was my only reference to fucking vigilante was Batman and shit. And he was like, they were using the word properly. Yeah. Boy, that went sad and dark. I forgot about all that. That was crazy.
Sorry.
Very politicized. Remember that as
Yeah.
well. In any event, yeah, those are two really. I think I like his better than mine. But still, two fairly decent answers to a great question. You win. Give it up for him,
Thank you
ladies
so
and
much.
gentlemen. You get the tickets. You get the poster. You get a pin, and you get one of another pin.
Here. And that
Fucking
one
well
too.
done. You get to take all that back to Jersey, man. I'll see you when we do the show, man.
Good to meet you. Thank you.
All right, JC. Who we got next? Who's the next victim? I got to sign shit on that side. Can we cross over?
Yeah.
Cross over. We'll do a little Morrison Jerome.
Hey. Oh, did you?
Somebody get me a mirror. Hey, man, what's your name?
Rich.
What is it?
Rich.
Raish, like Al Ghul? Oh,
What was it?
Rich.
Rich, like I'm fucking rich, bitch.
wish,
Give it up
I
for
wish.
Rich, man. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Amazing.
So good.
I have a two-part question.
Fire away.
I'd like to know, Kevin.
Yes?
Would you like to smoke a bowl after the show?
Always, but generally at home by myself.
Oh,
But I appreciate the fucking offer. Yeah, I've got
right.
so much fucking weed. I'm good. But one day when I don't have weed, I'm gonna come looking for you and be like, you still have that bowl?
I'm here. All right, guys. My question is, I know you're both Star Wars fans. You know Darth Vader's story, the way George Lucas did it. What would be your guys' take? Forget the prequels. How would you make Darth Vader become Darth Vader?
Ooh, wow, fuck. Nobody ever asked me that ever.
How would you do it?
Darth Vader get to be Darth Vader?
Well,
if he's
I
not into
remember-
pod racing.
I remember when I was a kid being so excited about the future of Darth Vader because I don't know where the fuck I read it. Must have been in Starlog, but Lucas did an interview somewhere where he talked about like how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. And he was like, he was fighting Ben Kenobi on top of a fucking volcano when he fell in. And that captured my imagination. I was like, oh my God. And then Lucas was like, we're done with after Return of the Jedi. And suddenly there was no hope of ever seeing that. And I was like, fuck, that would have been so metal. And then the prequels happened, and then we did see it. And I was like, oh, okay. No, it was good. I like that shit. I thought it was cool. That to me fulfilled a lifelong dream of like, he fucking did what I read years ago. It was fucking a volcano that took him out. So I'll always have that in my head because I heard that since I was a kid. Volcano got to take him to Darth Vader. Now, if I divorced myself from that, and it don't have to be a volcano,
Change the whole prequels. What would you guys do with the whole Vader story?
I think he's fucked up because Kenobi like fucking hacked him within an inch of his life. It's not like him like, my legs are burning, fuck you. It's like a fucking, you ever see that one video, the YouTube clip, where somebody like took a New Hope and they made the fucking lightsaber fight
Yeah.
between Darth Vader and Ben Kenobi that could be with modern special effects and shit like that? If they were just hacking the fuck out of each other and shit, and he just got the better of them and just like, so it was all done by Ben Kenobi in battle and shit. Then when they fucking meet each other years later on the Death Star, he's like, I'm gonna kill the fuck out of you, old man. So I would go with that. Never mind this fucking falling in a volcano shit. And I don't know about the pod racing origin stuff. But I know that fucking in my hands, like Kenobi would have been the one that fucking. You could also steal from Marvel and be like the mask came off and he was beautiful and never needed it whatsoever. The Doctor Doom approach and shit. But I still like the fucked up one. I'll never forget seeing like that little clip of him in Empire Strikes Back with the helmet off when I was a kid. Like, what the fuck? Like it never, I thought he was a robot. It never occurred to me he was a fucked up person under it and shit like that. It was amazing. You? How would you change Darth Vader?
I just wouldn't make the prequels.
That's easy.
Like honestly, it's because he was such a perfect character. The less you know about him, the better, right? Like all I need to know is, oh, he was a Jedi, like your father, and he, succumbed to the dark side, and blah blah blah. I don't need that shit. I need the little glimpse of I got his fucking head, and that's fucking scary. I don't want to know how Darth Vader gets to be Darth Vader. I just want him to be Darth Vader. I don't need to know how the Joker gets to be the Joker. I just want him to be the Joker. Like sometimes I think the desire on our parts, occasionally as viewers and occasionally as storytellers to like, oh no, but this part is gonna be fucking rad, and it's never as rad as it is in our heads. Like we are feeling. I don't need to know how Hannibal Lecter gets to be fucking Hannibal Lecter. I just want to see him bite some fucking faces off. So like the desire that I might have as a fan to see like the prequels, I would absolve myself of that shit as a filmmaker and just be like, you know what? These three, great. Want to do 3 more after that? Great. Going backwards almost never works. Almost never works.
Fair enough.
Except for like Rogue One. I like Rogue One.
That was actually really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
And this
my
pile
man,
of
this
shit
is yours
for you.
right here. Don't forget
Yeah,
you
man.
won shit.
Come on,
you
dude.
did it, man.
Take your
You're
booty.
a goddamn winner. Thank you. My man put a glass in the bar and I was about to fill it, but he wants it signed.
Oh, well.
I was ready to play Tom Cruise in fucking Cocktail. When I pour, I rain.
Yeah, because that bar stays in business where one dude makes one drink for half a fucking hour.
Just think about it.
Shippy shake.
If it was modern day fucking Tom Cruise, he would dive headfirst into a bunch of bottles with the camera rolling so you knew it was him. Hey man, what's your name?
Name's Chris.
Chris,
Hey,
everyone
Chris.
give it up for Chris. What can we do you for, Chris?
Well, what got this going was I read your kind of self-help tough shit.
Oh, okay, the book.
Frickin' loved it.
Thank
I
you.
smiled like an insane person when I read it.
Thank you.
and
I enjoyed fucking
I was in public.
writing that.
But my question was,
Did you ever hear the book on tape version? Well, I mean, the audio book version.
I heard it on tape actually. Yeah,
Oh, that was the best way to do
better.
it. It had
Yeah.
more shit in it in the audio version than in the book because I got to read the book.
I wish you'd
and
write
I
a second
added shit
one
to it.
based on your new knowledge of
That's
everything.
hopefully next. If there's one in time, I want to
Frickin'
write
great.
another
My
book
message,
that'll catch
my
up.
question was to both of you. When I was young, I used to read Spidey stories with Marvel and Electra Company.
Yes.
And you guys both have kids, and I have a child as well. And I was wondering if you guys were going to write a comic book for kids, what would be the kind of the moral or the thing you'd want to teach in the comic book based on being parents now?
Wow.
Yeah. I just did that. So I think for me, I love the idea that courage is not the absence of fear, but it's acting while you're afraid despite it. You know, the idea that being brave doesn't mean that you don't feel, that you're not afraid of stuff. We're all afraid of shit. But what makes you a hero, and anybody can be a hero, is doing the thing even though you're afraid of it. And I think that the stories that I think we all love, the stories that I think all resonate with us, are not about people who don't feel that shit, but it's about the people who do it anyway. You know, and that I think it's real world heroes. Like, you know, if you're a fucking fireman, you signed up knowing you were gonna have to walk into a burning building. You know, the act of heroism there isn't actually doing the thing that you said you would do, it was signing up to do it to begin with. You know, like you made that choice, and now you're just following through on the choice you made. And I love that idea of teaching children it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to doubt yourself a little bit. But what makes you awesome, what makes you a hero is doing it anyway. So that.
That's fucking good.
Thank you.
I don't know. I have a kid, and if I was going to impart the shit that I impart to her in a comic book character, like it would be like, can you fucking bring your dishes upstairs? Let me think. I think of the shit that I've tried to impart like to adults for the last few years, doing all the shows and shit. And I guess, you know, kids are just, you know, adults to be, little adults in training. So I guess I would just kind of modify the same message, which is there's two paths as far as I see it. There's creation and destruction. And destruction is fucking always crowded because anybody can break shit down. It's easy to fucking to destroy, way easier to destroy than it is to create. Creating something takes an investment of yourself, part of yourself. You risk ridicule or rejection by taking the creation path. But so fucking far more rewarding and wide open. You know, fucking destruction path, so fucking crowded because anybody can fucking do it and it's fun. Making shit is 1,000 times more fun. And there's always room to do it because not everyone will try. Not everybody wants to. Not everybody has it in them and stuff like that. So if you have that remotely in your DNA, if you feel that call, that Muse's call, not Jason Muse, ignore his call, but fucking the call of the Muse, lean into it. If I was going to be doing some book for a kid, comic book for a kid, it would have to be about that, about leaning into imagination and shit like that. But you know, if I had an idea for a kid thing, I would have done it a long fucking time ago. When I had a kid, particularly. I had this kid's book I wanted to write all throughout Harley's childhood. And I still haven't written it, and she's fucking 20. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. As much as I love all the shit from childhood and carried it into my adulthood, even when I wrote comics, I wasn't thinking about kids. Like, they were not the audience at that point. It was mostly people my age and stuff. I guess Yoga Hosers was the closest I got to writing for kids, and everyone hated me for it and stuff. So I don't know that I'd be the one to do it, but if I was, that's what it would be about for sure. It'd be about making stuff. My superhero kid would have to, or my superhero character would have to make stuff in order for those powers to kind of work. I liked your story though. I thought that was fucking dope and creative as fuck.
Thank you.
Really cool
It's
too.
funny. The coolest thing that I saw on the internet today was the guy who just got cast as Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, I think his name is.
Years ago.
He posted or he retweeted the tweet that he had sent to Marvel, like, almost a year and a half ago. It was like, I want to be your Shang-Chi. And like, he was a Canadian actor who like did like tiny movies.
He was on Kim's Groceries?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kim's Convenience,
Convenience, like tiny indie things. But it became this like, hey, if Simu could do it, you can do it too. Shoot your shot. Like, just air your fucking dream job into the world. Like, just put the positive energy out there. And just looking at all of these people, just kind of using that as a like, oh, maybe all you got to do, or the first step, is saying it out loud. Like we always, like we have our hopes and we have our dreams, and sometimes we tell our friends and our family, but it's, closely held. Because sometimes you just got to shout that shit from the rafters, and maybe just putting the energy into the world will bring a little bit of it back to you. And like, not for nothing, I also signal boosted the tweet that I put out in like 2017 where someone was like, hey, what Marvel movie would you like to write? And I said Blade. So like, hey, Marvel, I'm just saying.
Thanks for that.
I've been at this a while, loving on that Blade.
Look, if you were to even get close to that job, if you got that job, I don't want to help write. Just put me in the movie. Write Kevin Smith as a character, and they can fucking kill me in the first 3 seconds, man. But put my fucking ass in a Marvel movie, please, please. They said my name, I want more. Now on FaceTime and shit. Kapow! I just want to be on camera and look at the camera like, can you fucking believe this?
And then just,
That's true.
It'd be like Stan Lee cameo. You get killed in every Marvel movie.
I would take that if they're like, we'll put you in the Marvel movies just to mock you and destroy you. And I was like, done.
you win.
Oh my God, that'd be great. What a great question. What a weak answer from me, but a great question from Marc. You win. Take your shit. Goddamn pleasure, man. Don't lose these. That's an important part of it. Okay, then we had something sitting on here. It said, please offer these to anyone in the audience who would like one. Thanks, Ed. This is, what are they, Immortal Era stickers? Yeah? Explain.
The comic book just came out, and I'm trying to promote it as best I can, just putting it everywhere in the world. And
Jump up into the spot here. JC will give you a mic, and so we can promote, because God damn it, this all begins with comic books. JC is racing his ass around the front. He'll get to you in a second. What's your name there, young camper?
name's Ed.
Everyone give it up for Ed, man. Ed apparently is doing something that very few people think to do anymore. Make a fucking comic book. Is that right?
I'm making a comic book. I just published it about 2 weeks ago. Kickstarter's up right now. It has 7 more days to go. And right now I'm just trying to put it out in the world. I was walking around Comic-Con wearing all my own merch, so I was a walking billboard. Got noticed by a few people that said, hey, I follow you on Twitter, I follow you on Instagram, so that was pretty amazing just to be noticed. And of course I said, oh, you noticed me? Here, have a free comic book. So I was handing them out, anybody who wanted them. So I have stickers I want to give everybody in here. Hopefully you guys check out the comic book and enjoy it. And I just want to spread it around as much as possible.
Fucking A, really good, man. There's a guy he's taking the path of creation, not destruction, man. We're going to leave these right here. Everyone grab some on your way out. When you're grabbing your shit, don't forget, we'll break them up into 3 piles. There'll be one over here, so cats can grab. And then I'm sorry, I'm walking everybody through my instructions. And then one over there. Grab some stickers on your way out. Support a fucking artist, man. Well done. Well done, Ed.
All right, thank you guys. Always inspired by you guys. I use you when I run. You're my podcast to run to, keep my mind off the heat and the horrible miles I'm running, and just constantly inspiring creators, and it's always keeping me going. So kind of pushed me through the whole process, because you find out, you think, oh, it's so easy, I'm going to write a comic book. Not easy. And you have to fight through a lot of difficulties and just keep pushing on, and now, eventually hold that book in your hands and nothing feels better.
Fucking hey, man. Give it up for him. That's brilliant. Well done.
Good job, Ed. It's good to
Thank
see you
you.
down there. He came to one of my signings.
Did you?
He did.
To one of his? What was he like? Tell me he was like an asshole at the signing.
Oh, no, he was awesome. Took a picture with him and talked with him a little bit before the signing actually began, so I wasn't holding up the crowd. And yeah, it was great just to be able to talk to you guys, because like I said, I listen to you pretty much every Sunday. That's when I'm going out and doing 15 to 25 miles, and it's good. It keeps me moving and keeps me focused on just keeping that energy in my head and the creativity rolling through there.
15 to 20 miles?
Yeah.
As on what? In a car?
No, just running, just
Like
training
on
for
purpose?
marathons.
Like on your own leg? Like Forrest
Yeah.
Gump?
On the legs. Forrest Gump
Lieutenant,
without the
damn,
beard.
that's impressive. Jesus, man, that's far. I thought maybe a bike or something, but just fucking
No,
running.
just running.
We'll try harder on the podcast. Fuck. I mean, didn't realize we were being used as go-go juice. That's awesome.
Not that hard.
Yeah, fuck. Work smarter, not harder. Give it up for Ed. Thank you, Ed.
So, but before we go,
Yeah.
did you have like one moment at this convention that will be the memory that you take away from it?
Yeah, laying on the floor with my kid on the stage at Hall H, watching the trailer and listening to it work. That felt awesome. Like, I shared, like, over the course of 25 fucking years of doing this, many moments of, like, with producers, with casts, with people, like, oh, shit, it worked. Like, you feel clever and shit. That moment I shared with a human being that came out of my balls. So fucking surreal to look over at like my little fucking female twin, my distaff twin, and like know what she's thinking, the same thing I'm fucking thinking and stuff. It was really, really kind of special. And then Hands in Cement was pretty fucking dope. What about you?
There's a guy who's come to the show a couple of times. I don't want to blow his name up or anything, but he came to the last signing that I did on Sunday. And he was like, hey man, like I was already here, I already got the pin, I just wanted to give you something. It's like, oh, all right, shit, that's cool. And he reaches into his bag and he's like, listen, I've been listening to the podcast a lot, and like you and Kev, but you've inspired me to kind of chase my dreams and get on the path and like start writing. And I felt that if anybody should own the first appearance of Black Panther, it should be you. And he reaches into his bag and he gives me like Fantastic Four, like number 50, whatever that is, 52, the first appearance of Black Panther.
Holy shit.
And I was just like,
What did he bring for me? That's really beautiful.
yeah. And I didn't know what to say. Like I am not equipped or prepared to deal with that in any way. But I was just like, dude, thank you so much. I got no words for that. And I have no words for any of it. Like this I put it up on Instagram a couple days ago. But like I never wanted this life. Like I never set out to like have cameras pointed at my face.
This life. This one.
life, this public life.
I was like, you've been pursuing writing for quite some fucking time.
for a bit.
You can't be like, how is this happening? I never wanted this.
It's like, oh, hello, is this a writer's room? I stumbled in here.
Yeah, what are you guys doing in here?
Oh, you're gonna pay me now? Great.
You mean the public, the guy
public
saying
life.
shit.
It was never a dream that I had. I never aspired to this. But I'm super grateful that it happened, and to be able to tell my story to people, be able to talk and be able to explain my perspective on the world is fantastic and awesome, and I never take it for granted. And so when that dude just gave me that, it's like every time somebody's like, I'm a fan, like I just touch my heart, because I am not, to the depths of my soul, it touches me so much. So thank you to that guy, thank you to everybody who fucking comes and watches us be fucking idiots here for like 2.5 hours, because I love it to death.
Yeah, me too. It's my favorite thing to do in the world. Before we get out of here, just a reminder, we do have a movie coming out, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. We're coming to your neck of the woods to show you the movie, me and Jay in person. Go to rebootroadshow.com to buy tickets. If you're like, I ain't paying fucking $50 to watch a movie. Go fuck yourself, silly Bill. But you're still somehow interested in seeing that movie? Fathom Events is going to be having 2 screenings, October 15th, 17th, theaters everywhere. We make it very easy to sneak preview the movie. Then we're going on tour for a long fucking time. Me and Jay, 6 months touring this fucking movie all over the place. Right now, there's 30 dates up. If you don't see dates near you, trust me, they're fucking coming. So we'll be doing this for quite some time. So if you don't see it through Fathom and you don't see it during the Reboot Roadshow, the idea of the tour is if we open in October, I think 20th in Chicago. Tour happens on the 20th, then like the Friday following, the movie comes out in Chicago because we'll have gone to Chicago, done a bunch of fucking local press, pumped it up, and then platform it out there. So there's like gonna be 3 ways to see the fucking movie long before it ever gets to like home video and stuff like that. Why did I fucking bring it up? Oh, in the process of the trailer going out, there were a lot of our secrets about the movie got released and stuff. One of the best kept of which was Ben Affleck is in the movie as well. Ben returns and plays Holden in the movie, and I've told the story about how it all happened. You can find it anywhere online. I won't belabor it here as well. But I'm on a fucking streak. I'm on a roll right now. Because like that happened months ago when we were making the movie and stuff. People have just found out about it. But I got somebody, I'll close the show on this because it's so fucking weird and wonderful, and it shows you if you stick around long enough, like time heals all fucking wounds. All right, I don't know how else to explain it. I got a text this morning from a number that I've seen pop up on my phone quite regularly, like every few weeks. And I assumed, I don't know if you do the same thing, I only answer numbers I know. No. So if somebody fucking calls me a number I don't know, I don't answer the phone. My number has been released on the internet, so, you know, chances are it's some 4chaner, you know, or something like that. So I tend to not answer the phone, but, you know, you'll see numbers come up again and again, and I'm like, oh, that must be some auto dialer or blah, blah, blah. So I've seen this number come up, try to call me, and I never fucking answer. This morning it came up 3 times. So I was like, Jesus, they're really trying to fucking sell me something and shit. Didn't answer. Then like 5 minutes later, a text pop up from that fucking number, where the number's in California. And the text said, Dear Kevin, I have pictures I want to send you. I need your home address. Love, B-Dub. All one word, B-E-E-D-U-B. And I'm like, B-Dub? They know my name. Who the fuck is, I don't know any B-Dub. And then I was like, wait a second. I know only one B-W in this world. And so I texted back, Bruce? With a question mark. And he wrote back, yeah, man, how are you? Fucking Bruce Willis texted me. Out of fucking nowhere, man. And then I was like, holy crap, how are you? And he's like, great, I got pictures of you. I want to send you these pictures. Where can I send them? And so I gave him the P.O. box that we send all the mail to and stuff. And then I was sitting there going, how do I know this is him? I said, you free to talk? And he said, yeah, call me. And I called him, and fucking like, God damn it, it was either Ralph Garman doing an incredible impression, or it was fucking Bruce. And we just chit-chatted for like 10 minutes. And he goes, I found these pictures. I was looking through these pictures. He's going, I see pictures of Kevin. I say to myself, Kevin should own these. So here I am. I was like, hi. Didn't mention any of the friction or anything like that. I wasn't like, do you remember Cop Out? But like, it was fucking lovely.
I might have said some shit about you.
Yeah, I was
a little
like,
bit.
Hope he didn't read that book. It was really fucking lovely. Just heard from him out of the fucking blue, man. So fucking strange. So you never know, man. Reach out to an old friend or somebody that you thought would never be a friend again. You never know what bridges you could mend. It's crazy. Yeah, oh, that'd be amazing. Honestly, if he called me, he was like, I want to make Cop Out 2, I would seriously entertain the notion. Like, go back and fix the past? That works out in movies all the time.
Are you Loki?
We got no more show, do we?
We got no more show.
Fuck,
man.
ladies and gentlemen, have you had a good time this evening? I cannot thank you enough. Give it up for the guy standing next to me without whom we got no show, Mr. Marc fucking Bernardin. And that is Fatman Fatman Beyond for this week, man. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Marc Bernard.
Tune in next time, same fat channels, modcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.
for the good of all Cree. Good night, everybody.